Hey friends, how you doing out there? I was asked to do a tutorial on how to get gigs or how to gig as a solo acoustic musician. So this is my take on that, how to gig like a pro, getting tips for solo acoustic musicians. There's a link in the descriptions for some of the things I'm going to talk about, plus you can grab the PDF and follow along. Okay, number one, get to know the music scene in your area. So go out, check out the venues, see some other local performers, see what they're playing, what kind of gear they're using. Do you even like that venue? You might think you like a venue, you go in there and you don't like the staff, or you don't like the food, or it doesn't fit with what you're trying to do. Do you do all cover songs, or do you do original music, or do you want to? So you have to kind of find the right venues that fit with what you're trying to do. Once you find that venue, I would recommend going to the venue. Just be cool, get something to eat or grab a beer, watch some other players, or just meet some of the staff and just kind of get your face known to them. You're going to be, it's basically sales. I hate to say it, but if you send them a random email with, even if you have a great website, I always found it, if you're a people person and you're nice and you smile and you're in there, you tip, they're more likely to hire you. That's what I found in my experience. So once all that's done, if you can befriend one of the local musicians and they're cool with you and they might give you some recommendations on who to talk to or how much to charge or whatnot, that would be helpful as well, if they'll disclose that information to you, depending on what area you're in. So, okay, number two, preparation. Once you find that, you've got to prepare your set, and you got to pick songs that you think you can play. Let's just say you're a cover artist and you're going to do, cover songs, top 40, whatever you want to call it. Know your vocal range. I've done another series on singing lessons. You've got to know your vocal range. So even if you love a song and you can't sing it, try to drop the key. But if you can't get it to work right, you should probably not do that song. You got to just be realistic with yourself. I recommend getting an iPad and using Fourscore, which is a sheet music app where you can upload PDFs with the lyrics and things, just as a bit of a cheat sheet. If you have great memorization skills, well, that's even better. I do not, I also use with that a blue turn. It's a page turner, so you can just hit the button and it turns the pages for you. I'm using that right now, as a matter of fact. Then, during your rehearsals, you're playing through the tunes, set this video camera up and record yourself. What do you sound like? What do you look like? And be honest with yourself. If a tune isn't working, move to something else. There's a lot of tunes you can try. And smile. Try to smile when you're singing or on mic. Don't look like you're nervous or concentrating too hard. It looks better and it puts people at ease. Okay. Number three, you got to pick the right gear for you. I use the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. I learned that in high school. Just get some gear that is easy to use, even if you're really great at gear. Just get something easy to use to get started with. Easy to set up. You can get in and out. I use a Bose system. There's a link in the description. I really like it. It's easy to set up as a solo musician, a couple channels, very easy to use. Bass, treble, a little bit of reverb, nothing too complicated. I do use a pedal board because I do a lot of looping and I'll play guitar solos and different things. So that adds another level of complication. Or just go out and sing and play the guitar and get started that way. I can do more on all my gear. If you want to see my pedal boards and things like that, we can send me a message, Okay, the next thing is be ready for anything. Have redundancies in your car. So you should travel with 2 guitars, a bunch of batteries, a bunch of cables, capos, all the things that you would need if something should fail. If something is happening during a song, feedback or something cuts out, try to finish the tune. That's my recommendation. Like on the Titanic, the musicians played as long as possible. If you ever saw the movie while everybody was jumping off of the boat, try to finish the tune, but then just politely say, hey, I'm having technical difficulties. I'll be right back. Just don't make a big deal out of it. Try to fix the problem. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have feedback. People might ignore you. You might not get called back to a venue. Don't panic. Just move along, If you do get to a gig, and this is something that's happened to me a couple times, and you're double booked and you show up and there's another musician there setting up, or you're setting up and somebody else walks in. just be cool. Let the venue or the manager make the decision. No matter what they say, if they don't pick you, just be like, hey, no problem, no worries. Even if you needed the money that night, don't make a problem. They don't need problems. They're trying to serve dinner. They're trying to serve, the staff, the patrons there. They don't really need to worry about a musician's ego. So what I would do is just, if another musician got picked, sit down, get a hamburger or a beer and watch them. Just maybe you'll learn something. Maybe you can be friends with them and start a conversation. It's just better to be cool in these situations and don't be a problem for the staff, because they just don't, as much as you've prepared and you think this is important, it's not. The staff is just there, they're just trying to do their job, so just don't be a problem for them. Okay, so another thing that I see a lot about engaging with your audience. This is great if you're performing and you're lucky enough where people are paid $5 or $10 to get in to see you, and they're all going to sit there with rapt attention. That happens occasionally. Yeah, that's great. But a lot of times, if you're out there trying to do this as a job like I do, you're just doing country clubs. You might be doing a brewery. You might be doing a winery. And sometimes, yes, people are very engaged. Sometimes they're just watching hockey or something, It's just the nature of what it is. So know when to try to engage with people. If you go in and they're ready to go and they're having a good time and they start singing along and maybe dancing or whatever, great. You can engage and you can start this nice little banter. If you go into a country club gig and everybody's eating dinner and it's really quiet, match the energy of that room. I mean, you may have prepared all these things in your mind, what you think you're going to say and all that, but you just have to let it play out and be natural with the vibe of the room. That's what I would recommend. Okay, I've got a couple bonus tips here for you in this first video. The number one mistake everybody makes, and you probably heard this, is being too loud. So I always recommend going in, no matter what the venue is, set your volume and then turn it down from there and just start underneath. You're not going to freak people out right off the bat if they're trying to eat dinner, or maybe they are there to see you. Who knows? Every situation is going to be different, but it's better to be asked to turn up than it would be to turn down. And it's probably loud enough, unless people have paid to see you. That's a whole different scenario. This is about, solo acoustic gigs where you're not the star, so to speak. Okay, the last thing I would say is don't take forever to set up and tear down your equipment. Don't bring excess equipment to these gigs. You should have a cart and you wheel that thing in, one trip in, guitars on your back, 20 minutes or less, you're set up and ready to roll. At the end of the gig, same thing. Don't be hanging around. A lot of times in gigs, venues and things, it's a restaurant, let's say, bar, restaurant. They're gonna move tables and chairs out of the way and they're gonna set you up. Well, the staff wants to put those tables and chairs back at the end of the night. So don't go to the bar and start drinking and talking to your friends. Immediately tear down all your equipment and get it out of the way so they can set their stuff back up. You just make nice with the staff. It's gonna pay dividends in the long run. So, okay, so this is just like my first swing at this. These are things right off the top of my head I wrote down. If you like this, I can do a part 2. I can show you my gear. Just let me know your thoughts, and thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Join me on Patreon if you like, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.